Hey, it's Justine Marjan, and you're watching In the Know Hair School. Today I'm going to show you 3 ways to create waves with a hair straightener. So oftentimes when I'm creating a look, I'll use multiple techniques to finish the final product. So for this look today, I'm going to use 3 different curl techniques on her hair. So the first technique I'm going to show you is just a classic flat iron wave. Flat iron waves are one of my favorite techniques to use on the hair just because there's so much versatility and I feel like I can really control the curl pattern. So starting on 1-inch sections, this is just your classic flat iron wave. I'm going to insert the iron at the roots and then rotate my wrist as I glide the iron down. So inserting the iron at the root, rotating in one direction, and I'm pointing the iron at an angle, and then I'll reinsert it, point it in the opposite direction, and rotate it the opposite way. So I'm slowly alternating which way that I'm rotating the iron. When you're creating waves with a flat iron, it's really important to make sure that your iron has rounded edges. So the rounded edges of the iron is really what's gonna be creating that wave pattern. So as you can see, that created a really nice wave to her hair. Like I said, I like to alternate the way that the iron is pointing for a more natural wave effect. So I'll use that same technique on the piece right next to this, inserting the iron at the root, rotating it so it wraps around the rounded edges of the iron, and then reinserting it and rotating it the opposite way. You wanna make sure the iron is in continuous motion as it glides through the hair to avoid any creases or crimps. And that's the beautiful wave pattern. So if you are doing this on your own hair, sometimes it can be annoying if the cord is in the way. So this is a cordless flat iron you can use. This is the GHD Unplugged styler. So the next technique is called a push wave, and you can see it creates this really gorgeous S-wave pattern in the hair. To do this technique, I will gently push the hair upwards so it creates a C shape, and then I will insert the iron at the root and open and close the iron to stamp that pattern into the hair. Then when the iron's closed, I'll push the hair in the opposite direction and then gently open and close the iron to stamp that in the hair. So it should be creating an S shape. And then I'll just continue in that pattern as I work down the length, gently pushing the hair upwards to create that buckled effect and create that wave pattern. I love this technique because you can really customize how big or small you want the waves or the curls to look in the hair based on how much you push the hair upwards. So the next technique I like to call a slide curl. So I'm using the GHD Platinum Plus styler for this. I love this flat iron because it heats up evenly across the plates of the iron, so I don't have to worry about an inconsistent curl pattern as I'm styling her hair. For this technique, I will grab my section that I'm working on. I work on about 1-inch sections, and then I will insert the iron pointing downwards at the roots, rotate it so it wraps around the rounded edges of the styler, and then gently drag it downwards to create a spiral effect. And that just creates a really more traditional kind of wave pattern in the hair. So I rotate it, and then I like to keep my hands on the ends as I glide it down to make sure the hair stays on the hot part of the iron. So oftentimes when I'm doing a look, I'll alternate different techniques based on what I want the final result to be. So if I want a really natural finish to the hair, I'll use all 3 of these techniques, but you can absolutely just use 1 or 2, depending on your desired finish. When you're doing this spiral technique, you also want to make sure the iron stays in continuous motion as it glides down the hair so that you're not causing any dents or creases. So now that I've finished that side of her hair with all 3 techniques, I can just use my fingers and kind of break up that wave pattern. And you see what a soft, natural, wavy effect that creates. All right, this is the final look. 3 different ways to create waves with a hair straightener. I'm Justine Marjan, and this is In the Know Hair School. I'll see you next time.